How to make your very own 3D Pokemon card. You will need 6 to 8 of your favorite Pokemon cards, a ruler, an X-Acto knife, dotting tools varying in sizes, and Mod Podge. The first thing you want to do is cut out the character. If it is touching the border, leave it attached. Next, you will want to start cutting out pieces from the background. First is this flower. Once you have all your background elements cut out, you can move on to the next step. If you would like to bring a little more detail into your background, you can cut out individual pieces of an element and stack them onto each other like this. Next, let's pull out the grass. Once you have all of your pieces cut, take a moment to paint all of the edges of the cut pieces with acrylic paint. The more pieces you cut out, the more detailed your character is going to be. So we're going to stack his foot on top of his leg on top of his body, and his body on top of his tail. You can also add a little bit of resin to his eyes and his tail to make it shine just a little bit. Next is your spacer cards. To make spacer cards, you just take a spare card and you cut out the artwork out of the top of the card. Once you have it all cut out, you're going to want to paint the edges black and it'll look like this. Now that you have all your pieces cut out, it's time to assemble them. Your spacer cards are going to depend on your personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer, just put it together how you think it looks best. For this specific card, I'm going to do 3 spacers on the bottom and then the layer of grass. Next will be 2 more spacer cards and then the bottom section of the flowers. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Charmander and we're going to stick him in between that flower and the next flower. To top it all off, I'm going to do 3 spacer cards on top. That is the only thing that I consistently do throughout all my cards. I always put 3 spacer cards at the very top. Next, you want to take a plain card and just put it in the back of the card. This is going to be your back card. Now it's time for the top card. Take your ruler and cut the artwork out of the card. Remember, black out the outline around the artwork of the card before you glue it together. This helps create the shadow box effect. Now you're going to glue all your layers together, and this is what it should look like in the end. Remember, if your character is not touching the border of a card, you can always elevate it with double-sided foam tape or just some extra scrap pieces. So this is